This podcast is sponsored by CDO Group, the industry leader in providing a full range of construction and project management services. CDO Group has managed thousands of projects in all 50 states. Their group of experts provides systems, processes, and procedures to make sure that your projects turn over on time and on budget every single time. With over 24 years of experience, CDO Group is the industry's leader in construction management and general contracting services. To find them, go to cdogroup.com. Hi, and welcome to the Future of Development podcast. My name's Anthony Amunategui, and I'm here to inspire people to find amazing careers in the construction development world. If you like our podcast, please make sure you hit the subscribe button down below. If you really like our podcast, make sure you hit the little bell. Hi, and welcome to the Future of Development podcast. I'm your host, Anthony Amunategui, and today I'm joined by Bibhrajit Halder. He's got SafeAI and really making it so that large equipment can move at sites all over the world. It's quite amazing what their group at SafeAI is doing, and you guys are going to love this interview. Stick around for this one. Welcome, Bibhrajit, to the show. Welcome to the show. I'm so excited to have you on. You know, when I got to see your SafeAI product, it really did inspire me, to be able to see trucks without people in them. It's amazing, work that you're doing, and you can see how it's changing the world altogether. But I want to get to know you a little bit. So welcome to the show.
Thank you, Anthony. Thank you for having me. The work you have been doing is just amazing, phenomenal. I heard some of your last podcasts. So really, really happy to be here.
Thanks. Every time I get a new entrepreneur on and the new creators, to me, entrepreneur just sounds so mechanical. For me, it's about being a creator, taking an idea from a thought into action, and really, what it takes to go through the ups and downs of that. Give us a little bit about where did you start with SafeAI, or even before that? Give me a little bit about your journey and how you got to here.
Yeah, maybe I'll start very early on. I grew up in India, came to US back in early 2000. And by luck or what, this is really the time back in 2001, 2002, the autonomy got started. This is where the DARPA Grand Challenge, I was in my grad school. This is like you kid in the candy store. I was doing robotics, autonomy just got kickstarted, and I was doing my grad school PhD. So I got into it. My PhD work was on autonomy, which is, and then I graduated. And then you wouldn't believe it, mining and construction industry was wanted to do autonomy even at 90s. So I get to do 7 years in the mining industry doing autonomous solution and actually deploy into the various use cases.
That's awesome. Having that, starting to create that robotics, getting into the mine, I don't know that you ever could see a path in front of you, but I know that when we look back and you see the path, it kind of lines up and makes sense, right? When you see, all right, look, in grad school, I got into robotics, and then I get into the robotics field, and I get into the mining field for 9 years, and I start to see where the problems exist in the mining industry. What was the inspiration in there? Where did, in the mining world, what kind of stuff did you start working on?
Yeah, if you look at the construction industry and mining and the heavy industry in general, right, the repetitive task and the unsafe environment really immediately say, okay, yes, autonomy, making equipment fully autonomous can help us. I think the inspiration and the motivation was that when we actually deployed into this industry, the safety just immediately improved significantly. You cannot, it's just something that you see that is like, yes, we wanted more of that for the humanity, if you will. So I think I was there for 7-8 years, deployed it. That's really the biggest light bulb. How much safety got involved, taking human out of this unsafe area and make the work more productive, more reliable. And I think seeing that firsthand, you would be amazed. That's really the motivation, if you will, seeing that at the first time, how much it helps the humanity as you move this technology.
So let's talk about the environment itself. So you're in a mine, you're heavy equipment. These are not small trucks. These are massive vehicles, right? And moving massive amounts of earth, and injuries happen in 100 different formats. But just being in that environment starts with the end safety, right? You've got areas that where earth is moving. You're traveling from point A to point B, and new roads are just built for that path of travel, so they're not settled yet. You get all kinds of conflict with the ground, the earth, Mother Nature, all the things that take place with big earth moving.
That's right. Think about, I think I'll give you a construction example. Think about you are building a dam or bridge, right? So there's a lot of work goes on. As you mentioned, there's a the whole environment is not human friendly. You are talking about movement, but think about the dust, think about the fume, think about the not so good gases and all that polluted environment you've thrown into a human there. That's not really human friendly environment, if you will. And when you look at it, is that do you want to take the human out of that unsafe area and put them into office area where they can do the planning, they can do the organizing, they can do the orchestrating? That's really the motivation. Any construction site you'll see, immediately that will come to your mind. Can we take human out of that unsafe area?
Well, and I've worked with a lot of AI groups, right? I've communicated with them, and there's steps to that change, right? So you get the equipment gets a little bit more efficient, and it gets a little bit more efficient, but it always seems the biggest jump is getting that last human out of the vehicle, right? So you go from now your human's just literally just watching the vehicle, right? But having that person there just watching the vehicle, and then pulling that person out of the vehicle. Talk about it. How did you make that jump from fully autonomous equipment from just people monitoring equipment?
Yeah, and I think this is probably one area audience will be a bit surprised because this environment is constrained. What I mean by that, think about a construction area. It's not like middle of San Francisco, right? So this is a constrained environment. The work is going on there. So actually here it is fully autonomous. It's been fully autonomous since 2014. So I've been working on it, as I said, 20 years, right? This is not today's thing. We actually took human out of the cab, if you will, almost 10 years ago. So this is really area we can make a vehicle fully autonomous, and it's not even human watching. So there is no human involvement. Human is almost saying that you vehicle number one or truck number one, go get the job done. I don't even need to watch you. So technology is already in that capability. Back in 10 years ago, it was fully autonomous. Just to give you a statistic to wrap this around, there are about 4 billion tons of material got moved fully autonomously without a single fatal accident last 7 years.
So 4 billion tons, we're not billion in the B. So just wrap your head around how big 4 billion tons is that moved completely. Now this is not remote. This is not remote controlled. This is fully autonomous.
That's right. That's right.
So give me how does that happen? How do you get from, how do you set up the parameters? What's the things that you do when you enter a job site and you say, okay, hey, Bibhrajit, I'd like to get to the point where I make this mine a fully autonomous mine. And give me an example of the type of mine that you're working.
Absolutely. And I used to be in the mine 1 week, 2 weeks at a time. So I can tell you, look, usually we used to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, not get up. We get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, go to the mine at 6 o'clock. At the morning, there is a plan happen, like what am I going to do today? What is our next 12-hour shift? And right now, instead of telling the operator that go do that truck, go do that, you just send a signal to the truck, say that today you're going to move 200 tons of material and you're going to move it from point A and point B, go do that. And the way you will monitor your operator, if you say, oh, it's lunchtime, 4 hours is gone, 4 hours is gone, have you finished? That's what it will do, right? And truck will just do it. I think the more magical moment is that this truck is a little light for autonomy, especially in the night. Think about 30 of those trucks just working and their light is blinking. I have seen this. It is magical. Like they're just doing their work and light is just blinking and it's just beautiful to see. Almost thing looks like a orchestra. And you are the conductor, right? Really think about the human is the conductor and these vehicles are really just playing it out, whatever you planned.
Well, I mean, in some sense, I mean, you've brought life to a machine, right? I mean, you've now given life. I mean, think about that. I mean, you've brought life to a machine that is now working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They're not sick days. Now, maybe there's some downtime when a piece of equipment breaks down or something, but you've got, 24 hours a day, 7 day a week production value. And that's got to be a game changer.
It is going to be a game changer. Yes. And the beauty is that it already started. Like we don't have to wait. So I think to your ask question, what are we doing at SafeAI? It already been started 5-10 years ago. Can we give them the next stage? Can we give them the version 2.0? Can we upgrade them and make everybody access the technology and not just look at it in the news, if you will?
Got it. So now let's go through it. So you're in a mine. What kind of mine are you working in? Give me some ideas of the type of mines that you're working.
Think about a gold mine, a copper mine. So these are your typical mine. Even a construction site, we are both on construction, right? Think about building a dam, building a bridge, building an airport, all of those examples.
Nice. And so let's say we're using a job site, or we're working on so if I said to you, all right, I want to be able to get the site work done, and here's what the parameters are. I need you to clear this much ground, and I need to get down to this level. Set the machines off to go do that by themselves.
That's right. So usually it's a dance, right? So I'll give you a simple example that regular people can get. Let's say you want to build a swimming pool in your backyard. What do? You say, you know what? I need somebody to bring a excavator, dig up the backyard, then move the dirt from point A to point B, bring new material, maybe some rocks and whatnot, drop those rocks, pull it there. Now you can do all the planning. It's okay. That means I need 3 trucks, 2 dozer, 1 excavator, and you get this machine. Think about these are your asset. Now you just tell this machine, go do that. And you say, okay, it will take you a week to do, and your machine is just going to do that 24/7, and it's all done. You don't need a human there. You just do the planning, let the machine do the job.
You can see this starting with vehicles right now. So you're working with vehicles now. What have you been able to do? Multiple kinds of vehicles? Is there a type that you can or can't do?
So technologies, we can do all of them. We have prioritized. So we already have done what we call haul truck. So basically the truck to move the dirt. Then we do the dozer to push the dirt. And the third one is a loader, basically that dig up the material and put it into the truck. So if you think about a haul truck, dozer, and loader, that combo actually get 90% of the earthwork done.
That's a lot. I mean, when you think about that, a mine, right? You've got that's pretty much all of it, right? I mean, there might be a couple of little parts and pieces, but that maybe build a road or compact or something. But you're really working on those now. Can they go endlessly until they run out of gas? Is there a fueling? Talk to me about that setup.
Yeah. So usually this vehicle work 24/7, but they have about half an hour what we call inspection time. So you want to inspect every day to make sure everything is good. During that inspection time, you're also fueling. So fueling and inspection, like what I call daily schedule maintenance, that happening on the same time. So yes, they're going to be down for half an hour to 45 minutes. But here is the kicker. If tomorrow you make this vehicle electrified, which we are working with our partner, now you're talking about game changer, because autonomy and electrification just goes hand in hand like a bread and butter. So today, yes, is a half an hour break we take where we do the inspection and fueling. But tomorrow, think about if you can make them electrified, you're really talking really talking about the future.
Now, your technology, we can bolt this on to existing equipment. So is there any need for me to get rid of, do I have to go buy all new equipment, or is this something that you're taking my existing bulldozer, my existing backhoe, my existing loader? Are you retrofitting those?
Absolutely. And I think this comes from our vision. So our vision is that this is such an amazing technology. Everybody should have access to that. And now let's say you own a construction site, you already have 20 vehicles. For you to get an autonomy, do you need to buy a new vehicle? But if I go to you and say, you know what, give me your existing vehicle, let me retrofit you, you will get autonomy today. That in line with our vision. Our real vision is that everybody should have access to that technology. It should not be only for few people. So yes, we retrofit your existing vehicle, and it could be as old as possible. We'll still retrofit that.
Wow. So here, you got the old beat up machine in the back as well?
Yes, we are currently doing a truck that is 20-year old.
Wow. So yes. not just the big giant hard big haulers, but you got the smaller, older trucks. Now, how about things like a Bobcat? Can you retrofit a Bobcat?
We started with the Bobcat. I don't know if you know, when we started this company back in 2017, we started with a skid steer, Bobcat skid steer. We make it fully autonomous, run it at our backyard. We have been moving dirt with that skid steer for last 3 years.
Wow. So a little Bobcat, you can bolt onto a Bobcat. Now give me some of that jobs that they can do. So what's the parameters and how do we set those?
Usually our work is what we call earthworks. In that earthwork, you're talking about pick and carry. So pick and carry, what you're looking at, picking and carrying anything. So in the context of construction, maybe you're digging up dirt, picking it. Maybe you're bringing something in, picking it and dumping it. So it's really artwork and pick and carry. And again, as I said, that's the 90% of the work. Beside anything after that is very, very human, very high skilled work. But carrying material around is just a no-brainer.
Where did you guys start with the AI? So where did this information come from? Are you pulling this off open source technology? How are you getting the information to do this, or technology to create this?
Yeah, maybe I'll give you how we do it, right? Let's say you have a truck, you give me the truck, a haul truck, and we put the hardware on top of it. And then we put our software inside the vehicle. So that software actually sits in the vehicle. And we wrote the software from grounds up, everything from the zero. There is no open source. And the reason we do not want to do open source is that this is a very safety critical software. Another thing people do not understand, this is not writing an app on your iPhone. This is going to be super safety critical. So every line of the code in that vehicle is tested, 100% code tested. We can't rely on open source. So we build up from everything. We actually develop even the operating system that we're using on top while writing our algorithm. So yes, we develop from the scratch, and there is no other way to do it. You have to develop from scratch because of safety, which is number one priority. And then we develop that, put it on the vehicle. Then as a customer, as a user, we give you an iPad or a computer, say that this is your way to interact with your asset. It's really, this is your asset almost, right? So we'll give you a nice, beautiful looking UI, think about iPad or computer. You can interact with your machine using that.
Okay. So now you go in, you take my skidster, and you've adapted it with the hardware that needs to operate. So the interaction, the locks, and the things that are managing the controls, right? So you're going in there and you're changing out those parts of it. Now, what about the part? What's seeing? Is it all lidar? Is it lidar and is it all camera? What is it that is a portion that you guys use to see?
So we use camera, lidar, radar, all three. So these are different modular, if you will, which have different way of seeing the world. We take it all, we fuse them. Fuse them means combine them to make sure we are super confident that what we are seeing is reality, if you will. Because sometimes camera can get something wrong, lidar can get something wrong. Once we know what is our world is, then the AI comes in. AI is where we make the decision. Okay, now I know where I am, what I need to do. How do I do it? So basically, this is your brain. When you're driving, your brain making a decision. Okay, how do I drive? So this is your AI comes in. Then we make the drive actually move the vehicle. That is your control.
So you now got lidar and laser, or lidar and camera vision.
That's lidar, camera, and radar. All three.
And radar.
That's right.
So what radar knows kind of creates where it's at and what's coming at you?
They all know what is around you. They just know it differently. Just to give you a technology. So lidar actually send the information and it's a light signal. Radar send the radio frequency and get it back. And camera is obviously passive. So they just get to know the environment different way. And if you get to know the environment different way, then you can bounce it off each other. It's like, okay, everybody's saying the same thing. Then there better be the right thing.
Ultimately, when there's lives at stake, you want that repetitive, that those multi areas that are checking each other for thought process. So that's amazing. That redundancy really does help ensure people go home safe, or make sure it doesn't just drive off somewhere else, right? It doesn't. Hey, there goes my truck. It left me and it's gone. So as you set up parameters for this, or the operator has an iPad, talk to me a little bit about that. So that those parameters. What am I setting up when I'm here? I get an iPad. I've got a backhoe. I now have a construction project. How am I setting that up?
So your setup already get done. So basically, we go to your site. We say everything is downloaded in your iPad. What you do as a user, you get up in the morning and say, okay, you pick up your skid steer. Say, skid steer, move my dirt or do this thing, and you send an assignment or a task, and skid steer will just do it. Think about this way. I think if you when you are let's say, think about you're calling your Uber. You say, I am here, you come here. So you send that kind of information, same high level information, you send it to your autonomous skid steer, say, you go get this job done. And I think it will take you 2 hours. When you get that job done, come tell me you're done. So it is that high level.
Now, can you watch it do its work? Are there cameras there where I can watch my machine working?
You can watch it, but we don't expect you to monitor as far as monitor the machine. Machine is smart enough, autonomous enough, so you can watch all day long. Because if you have to monitor, then it's not autonomous. So yes, you can watch it, but think about this way, right? Again, I'll give you Uber example. Do you need to watch your Uber driver exactly where it is? No, you just need to know when are you coming. Is it 5 minutes? Is it 10 minutes? Is it about there? You want to know. That's really, you want to track the task, not if it is doing well.
No, exactly right. Here, it just gives me some peace of mind to to know that it's on task and I'm not going to be late for the airport, right? So that's ultimately what I want to do. If I can just line that Uber up with the TSA and get those two people to work in tandem, I'd be doing good. But now we've got clear, so that's helping out. So all the industries that you're in, so you're in construction, you're in mining. What are some other places that this technology works?
So, I mean, if you think about autonomy is beyond any particular vertical. It's actually going to fundamentally change the way we build the world, the way we transport, and the way we move. So, the way we move is your self-driving car. The way we transport, this is your trucking, autonomous trucking. And the way we build the world is what we are working on, is your mining, construction, port, and whatnot, all the heavy industry, if you will.
Do you think that today we've got the technology to go fully self-driving cars? It's just the people aren't ready for it?
We have the technology to go fully self-driving in our vertical, which is constrained use case, heavy industry. The self-driving problem is a bit harder, but there is an amazingly amount of smart people working on it. So we are almost there. I don't know whether that almost is 1 year, 2 year, 5 year, but we are there. We are there. You just have to hold, be patient for a few more years, whatever that year is.
Well, when I bought the Tesla, I bought it with full autonomy, full self-driving as a they're like, well, if you buy it now, it's going to be, and I'm like, all right, great, I'll pay for it now. But, they continuously keep sending me smaller updates and seeing that. Was SafeAI, is that the same thing that happens as you guys continue to grow and you've got, someone buys your software and they retrofit their equipment with your product? Does that same thing happen? Talk to me about how people get your product. Is it something they buy once, they put on their product, they put on their equipment, and it's always there? Or is it something that they're buying, as a subscription base? Talk to me a little bit about how you get your product into the client's hands and how do they pay for it?
And let me use you as an example. Let's say you are the customer, you are the construction company owner, right?
Yep.
So you say, okay, I got this 10 vehicle, make my 10 vehicle autonomous. We come to your site, retrofit it, give it back to you. Say it is good to go, then you run it, right? We will charge you per year per asset base. Basically, you would have our cost to run those vehicles. We will charge you in a subscription model per year per truck. But really, let's say today you're spending $100 to run the vehicle, we'll charge you $80. You're like, okay, I am paying less, I'm making it super safe, and I'm getting more productivity. Why not? So you pay me per year per truck. That's how we are charging. To your first question, are we incrementally improving? No. For us, we're going to give you full autonomy on day one. The reason being this problem is constrained. We can't do full one. Tesla would have given you full autonomy on day one if the problem is not that much harder. So Tesla would have given you full autonomy on day one. It's just that it's such a hard problem. But at least they're giving you something, say that we are working on it.
Well, that's what I feel like he does. So he sends me over. Okay, now it reads cars. Now it reads lines. Now it reads now it reads traffic lights. Oh, by the way, now the car can fart. Like every once in a while they throw in something funny. You're like, I can see the guys over there working on fully autonomous cars, and they're like, well, we'll make the car fart. And I'm like, that I'm not sure where that came in the line of need.
I'll tell you where that came in the line of thinking. You're talking about it. So that's why, right? We want something people get excited about talking about it. And Tesla can now even do a dancing for you, right? I don't know if you get you got the latest update. They can dance for you now.
Oh, my kids love that. They and they tell all their friends I got to do the dance every time another kid gets in the car. Like, oh, make the car dance, Dad.
Right.
Can you make equipment dance?
We can make that. For us to attract people, we can make it happen.
Well, that's what I need. I need to go out there and see all my mining trucks doing a little dance out on the field. That's by the way, they make a great video. What comes in the kit when they buy a kit for a vehicle?
And I think we can give you some picture, but the kit is really a hardware goes on top of the vehicle. It, as I said, it has a LiDAR, camera, radar, and there is a little box goes inside the vehicle. So think about in your car, and that is where the computer is sitting. And this computer is more powerful than your desktop. So the computer you're using now, this is going to be more powerful than that. So it's going to do a lot of computation on the vehicle. So the vehicle is fully self-sufficient and knowledgeable and smart to drive itself point A to B and do all the work it needs to do. That's really your what we call retrofit.
So that's the kit. And what does it take? How long does it take to retrofit a vehicle?
So currently, if you give me one of your skid steer or truck, whatever you have, it will take us about a month.
Oh, good. I give it to you. You guys come to pick it up, or I got to send it to you?
No, I will come. We'll come to your site and do it. Usually, these trucks, think about these are like 220-ton truck. So we are going to go to your site.
Got it. That's awesome. So you guys come out. You've got full roadside service, which I love. Right? I love people coming to me instead of me having to go to them. And you can do it anywhere in the country, anywhere in the world.
We are anywhere in the world. We are about 60 people today, but we are already in Australia, Japan, India, and obviously in US. US is our headquarters because we go where our customer is. And because this is a very hands-on approach, you need to be there where our customer is. So we will go. So yeah, we are in India, Japan, Australia, and US.
That to me seems like some pretty good customer service. Now talk to me about some of the restrictions. What are the places where I've got operational restrictions?
I mean, these use cases where it's a big construction or mining, these are all private area. So there is no restriction other than the end user, basically either a GC, which is the general constructor, all the mining company is doing. So there is no restriction from that point of view because this is a private land and this is a multi-year, anywhere from 5 to 10-year project. Usually these are the bigger projects. So restriction comes from the end user and there is no government restriction, if you will.
So so how about things like for me when I'm doing, I've got a commercial project. I'm building around, I've got other people on a job site. How does that operate? Can I do it on a job site where I've got other people?
Absolutely. This is a mixed site. Yes. And we do assume that this vehicle will work with what we call a other equipment that is not autonomous. So non-autonomous asset, it will work hand in hand. Yes.
That's neat. This creativity blows me away, right? Having the ability to do this on a job site where I've got people and on a place where there's no one at all, a desolate area where there's maybe a mine that's far away from someplace. Are there other things other than vehicles that you're starting to work on? Is there equipment that you can do this with? Are there, are you working on other robotic type materials?
Currently, we are focusing on, as I said, truck, dozer, loader, all those construction equipment that we typically see. Are we going to go to do something else tomorrow? Maybe, like as you say, Tesla is building a robot. So yes, maybe tomorrow, but today we are focusing as a startup. We are focusing on those construction equipment and make them as smart as possible, as quickly as possible.
As you break through these new areas, as you're looking at creating, making the world a lot safer, it really does. That's the game changer in our business, is taking technology and not hurting people anymore, using technology to make our lives safer and way more efficient.
Absolutely. And that's the name. Our name of our company is SafeAI, right? It comes from that, use the AI, but do it in a safe way and give the safety to the way I give you the example, right? Think about, 500, 600, 300 years ago, when we did not invented wheel, we used to carry material. Right? Then we invented wheel. Then we was like, okay, can we push? Then it's like, why push? Let's do the engine, do the job. Then we invented the engine. Then we don't even push. They say, can we give a direction? Now it's like, why do you need to give direction? It's a natural progression of technology. So human in this unsafe area doesn't make sense. We used it so far because technology was not there. Technology is about to catch up. Then we say, let's human do what they are better at, which is planning and thinking and really thinking about the future, not pushing or pulling or all the things that we have been doing for the last 300 years.
As we keep stepping and growing, right? There's this unsure, the first thing you think about when I talk to people about AI who don't know about it, the first thing they talk about is Terminator. And all they imagine is a finger going down the road trying to attack me, right? And then they get real dramatic about it. And every single AI group that I talked, every single one of them, and they all are in the realm of this is going to make our life safer, and have use cases and continuously showing that look, they're assistants and supportive to our lifestyle, so that today our lives can get a lot safer, way more productive than ever before. But now we have vehicles that actually can think and do this, those repetitive jobs that were dirty, unsafe, and just weren't very inspiring to do. I mean, you might have sitting in a mine all day long, just digging and going back and forth all day. That had to get pretty tough.
Absolutely. And if you marry that with the fact that now instead of doing that job, now as a human, you are saying, how can I make my mining process, a construction more efficient? That is the job humans should be doing, right? And that's fun job to do. And I think that's also one of the things this technology is helping, also attracting the new generation, the young people. I talk at the civil industry and civil classes in different universities, really attracting the new generation to actually be interested in the construction industry, because now technology is changing their world. Now they're using their brain to say, how can I make it more efficient? How can I make it more beautiful? I don't have to worry about how to move the dirt, but can I design it better so that it's more livable, more environmental friendly?
Well, I for sure, that is one of the number one reasons why I do this podcast, is because, construction has been archaic forever. And now we're in this amazing period of time when we're applying all the great technologies that have been learned in all these other industries, the medical world, sales world, all of these great technologies that are happening out in the financial world. And now we're taking them and applying to the archaic construction world, and we're watching that rate of growth happen so fast. I can't even predict where we'll go in the next 12 months, right? This year, I think we're going to see a lot more autonomy breakthrough, right? We're seeing robotics enter it in ways we never before. I just got done doing a podcast with a company that's doing robotic arms that are painting streets and painting, that was, and you can see how that dramatically changed the painting world, where you don't have bowling pins of humans sitting on a street getting hit by cars. Right now, that it's made it dramatically safer to go from what was a very unsafe environment, working around vehicles and moving quickly, and now it's being done by a robotic arm that's changing faster than ever before.
And one thing that you talked about, that inspiration, right? Beside making this worksite safe, another thing is super exciting is that when I talk to this, let's say the undergrad and graduate school students, and tell them about the technology that construction industry is bringing, they become super excited to join this industry. And I think I was giving a talk other day in UC Berkeley, and some of the people after the talk say, I want to get an internship in your company. I'm really excited. Like, I was thinking I'll go do computer science, but now I see the technology can be applied into construction. That is amazingly fulfilling. The new generation is actually excited about this industry. Don't look at this industry as an old one. Say, okay, what can I do with the technology and move this industry to what you call 21st century? So I think that's another exciting part. You want to bring this new generation being excited about it, the technology.
It's not my grandfather's construction, right? It's definitely, it's sharp and quick and smart, and it's fun. It brings back a whole level of inspiration that wasn't there before. And in fact, that's why it's fun about the young people is today. They don't have a way that they have to do it, right? The problem with people who've been around for too long is that they get stuck in one way of doing it, and it can't even see this is a possibility, and they want to stop it because, well, that's going to take someone's job. I'm like, look, if that's your argument, we would still be inside of caves. If that's the argument that we used for what grows us and what doesn't grow us, it's this job. There are more jobs today than we've ever had on this planet. Ever. This planet is growing faster. The number of jobs and type of jobs that are way more inspirational. I just had lunch with our accounting team, and we were talking about one realm of the world. When I was a kid, there might have been a handful of personal development people. You had like Dale Carnegie, maybe Tony Robbins. You had Zig Ziglar. There was a handful of personal development coaches. In the city that we live in, there are several hundred in this city alone of personal development coach. That's a genre that didn't exist 15 years ago. It's and it's grown so well. And by the way, our society has grown up You can see there's more money in the economy. There's more stuff that people are looking for support-wise, and the upgraded human experience is so taking some of these manual jobs that were very arduous and repetitive and not very inspiring. As we start to automate those, we're really seeing the ability to have humans kind of move up into another realm of development in the world.
That's right.
Bibhrajit, as you grow, and I'm excited about you and your team. I got to meet your team earlier in our pre-interview, and all the things that you guys are doing, they're inspiring. All the countries you're moving to, Japan and Canada, and all the places that you're going. What's inspiring you? What wakes you up every day excited? Where do you see the future going?
Yeah, and as I kind of started off, right, I've been doing autonomy for 20 years, and if it is not that exciting, I'll find something else to do, right? Maybe do cryptocurrency. But really, what motivates where the future is going. And we talked about, right, doing a startup, there's lots of ups and downs. But what motivates you when you see the future and the role you can play to bring that future in reality? Startup is all about you envision a future. Can you be part of a small part? You don't have to bring the whole thing. Can you be a small part making that future a reality? And that is so much powerful, that vision, that not that the future, but I can be a part of that to bring that future, and that can benefit the whole humanity. Any ups and downs will be almost looks like a negligent. If you get bogged into the ups and downs, what happens? You lose. That's a noise. Ups and downs are noise. The real signal is that where the future is going, can I push it? Can I be a part of that? Is this team be part of to bring the future? And that's really the motivation, right? We all have to do something with our life. But if that we can do something that we can bring a future that that's a better future for everybody, that's worth your time, if you will.
Well, to me, as I see what you're doing, right, the automated vehicles, and as technology gets smarter and smarter, and sensor technology and all the things that you're doing, you can really see how even in the automation of the vehicles and the mining of materials, but being able to do sensory testing and material testing as it's going through the practice of what it's doing, getting smarter and smarter, and being able to do things continue to keep bringing it up another notch, right? And getting and then with blockchain technology, having that information that's gathered really stick with the property forever, right? I mean, one of the problems we have in this world, the construction world, is that we gather all of this great technology, but all of a sudden we lose it, right? We hand it off to the next group and we start all over again, right? And there's this this constant we figure something out, then we go to the next group, and then we lose it. But as we get into AI, like you're on right now, and really being able to get the ability to take those learnings, those vehicles, that autonomy learn, as it learns itself, and hey, when I do this, it doesn't work, and it gets smarter and does it a little bit different. I don't even think we can know where that's going to go. And are you seeing any breakthrough mining techniques that AI is learning that we didn't know before?
Yeah, so I think you actually stumbled upon a very important thing that's going on. What you are getting into is something called a convergence of technologies. And that is one thing, because what was happening before, there's technology is coming at a one way. Yep. Now what is happening is technology coming in a multiple way. There is AI is improving, the chip is improving, the sensors are improving, all that coming at the same time, which is what we call convergence of technology. The speed that will bring is what you said, what is going to happen, we don't know. But one thing we know, as fast as technology has been moving last 50, 60 years, we haven't seen anything yet. Technology is about to kind of go into a next gear, if you will, and that's because of the convergence. So I think that's really what we are taking benefit of that, right? We see that AI algorithms significantly improve. Like some of the things we can do today, we are not able to do. We can do all the compute on board because of your compute, technology improvement. We can do all that camera technology, sensor technology, because that has improved. So all that we are bringing it together. So yeah, I think there is a phenomenal improvement happening, and it's almost to the mind-boggling about the speed we are going to embark on.
Absolutely. We were talking about Tesla earlier, and fully autonomous vehicles aren't here, but it's just like it's one or two things that are going to click, And then it's kind of like when you're pulling strings for a sweater, right? You're going to keep pulling a string, and then you're going to find the right one, and all of a sudden it's just going to unravel. And the whole genre will have a breakthrough that wasn't there before. That whole technology will have a breakthrough that wasn't available until we get those last couple of pieces. Bibhrajit, the stuff that you're doing, are you seeing anything in AI in the way that we're doing mining? Has the AI come up with a smarter way than ever before? Are you seeing something that you didn't anticipate to see with the AI yet?
Not yet, in a sense that something completely. What is happening is because this AI drives more efficiently, much more reliably, is fundamentally changing the way you do the construction planning or mine planning. So I'll give you one example, right? Previously, when you do a construction, you have to have a path for a vehicle to go. Now you have to design that road, if you will, right? Now AI is doing such a better driving. Now you can narrow that road. All of a sudden, the way you design your construction to do the construction or do the mining, changing. So it's by better efficiency and doing a better work, it's actually fundamentally changing the way we do mining and construction. And this will continue to grow.
Neat. I think that the emergence of all these technologies has start to make the sensors, the path, the travel, the stuff that we're doing on site and throughout the industry will continue to see that evolution. So listen, if people want to get a hold of you and your group and find you, what's the best way for them to catch up with you?
I think you can definitely go to our website, which is safeai.ai. So that's the one way. And you can also, we are on LinkedIn. You can reach out to us through that. And I'm always available. I mean, I don't want to, probably can give out my contact as well, but website will be probably the best way to get hold of us.
Well, Bibhrajit, your group is amazing. I love watching its growth and its development as you guys continue to have these breakthroughs and in markets and areas that you're working with. I really would love to see you come back on the show and show those off to us, all the new stuff that you're doing. This is changing the world. It's great work. I'm very excited to show off and showcase the work that you're doing.
Thank you for having us, and your energy and excitement is amazing. And what you're doing for the industry is, I think, it is an ecosystem. It's all of us are moving to the same direction. So, really enjoy the discussion we had today.
Thank you. Hey, audience, if you guys liked this conversation, if you liked what Bibhrajit and I were talking about, and if you really want to support us, if you could just go hit the like button for us. And if you really liked it, hit the subscribe button. It takes 2 seconds, but it does give us a lot of encouragement to keep move forward with other great interviews of great companies and what they're up to. Also, if you got comments down below, please put your comment down there. Anything you want to hear us talk about or any questions that you have, I'd love to get those and inspire us. We're grateful for all the listeners that listens to us and continue to push, touch, and inspire me to keep moving forward with great interviews. Thanks for being on the show, and we look forward to having you on again.
Thank you, Anthony.
Thanks for joining us. My name is Anthony Amunategui, always looking for people to bring insight into the industry, finding ways to inspire people to have amazing careers in the development world. If you liked our podcast, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below. If you really liked our podcast, make sure you hit the little bell. Thanks again for listening. Please share it with your friends.